Are you tired of fighting and clawing your way through your trials and challenges? I'm going to tell you what you need to stop doing in this video. At one time or another, every one of us tries to fight and claw our way out of trials and challenges. We miss this one crucial thing that we should be doing. My name is Tammy from the website Footprints of Inspiration and a Faithful God podcast, where I teach women how to let go of that need for perfection in their faith walk so they can create a deep and meaningful relationship with God. So what do you do when you're in the midst of the trials, the challenges, those storms in life? Most of the time, we try to fight and claw our way out. I always picture it like we're in this deep, deep well trying to really pull ourselves out of it, right? We're fighting for that need for control. We're fighting for that false sense of security that, you know what, if we could control this, then everything would be great. Then I wouldn't be in this difficult situation. But the truth is, there's one thing that we should all be doing. The thing is it's human nature to go into defense mode. That's just what is part of us. We go into defense mode and try to get that false sense of security. We go into defense mode and think that we have to be the ones to fight and claw our way out of it. But you see, there's something that you've got to understand. God never intended for you to go through life on your own. He never intended for you to go through these difficult times on your own. And in fact, in Matthew chapter 11, verses 28 through 30, God tells us to do this one thing. Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light. So often we don't take the time to, as my son calls it, take a knee. Take a knee and rest for just a little bit. I actually just went through this the end of December. So as I'm recording this video for January, at the end of December, I really took the last couple weeks of December and I took a knee. I took a knee and I rested. I just really connected with God, got close to God, and I went to him. I was feeling very weary, very dry, and I went to him and just spent time just resting in his presence. I wasn't trying to claw my way out. I wasn't trying to fix the situation. I wasn't trying to do all the things that we tend to do, right? That human nature to fight so hard. I took the time to rest. Now, not only does Matthew chapter 11 teach us that he says, come to me, all who are weary, but we also learn, what about Daniel in the lion's den? Now, here was King Darius. He put Daniel in the lion's den, and Daniel went to sleep on one of the lions, and Darius went back to the palace, and he couldn't get one wink of sleep. And while Daniel slept like a lamb, even though he was being watched over by lions, Darius tossed and turned all night. We know this through Daniel chapter 6, that Daniel actually slept in the lion's den, right? Here he was in the fight of his life, in what should have been a scary, difficult situation. And Daniel slept because Jesus says, come to me, all who are weary. And how about Peter? In Acts chapter 12, verses 5 and 6, it says, so Peter was kept in prison, but the church was earnestly praying to God for him. The night before Herod was to bring him to trial, Peter was sleeping between two soldiers, bound with two chains, and sentries stood guard at the entrance. He was bound with chains, and people were standing guard over him. And Peter slept. And I love what it shows us down in verse 11 when it says, now I know without a doubt that the Lord has sent his angel and rescued me from Herod's clutches and from everything the Jewish people were hoping would happen. Peter rested. He was in the midst of a very troubling time. He was imprisoned. He was chained. He had guards watching over him, and he slept and let God do the work. He slept. He took that to heart. Come to me, all who are weary, and I will give you rest. There's no doubt Peter was weary. There's no doubt, by the way, Daniel was weary, fighting against all the people that were oppressing them. Now, before I tell you about the third character, I want to let you know, if you like these types of lessons, you're going to love the Grow Your Faith community. Now, the doors for Grow Your Faith are not open right now, but this is a community of women where every single month I put out a monthly bite-sized Bible study. We dig into scripture. We do weekly co-studies. We do master classes, and we do live Q&As. So you get coaching with me. So it's not just another Bible study where here you go off, do it on your own. I'm there supporting you every single step of the way, each and every month, as we dive into these different lessons in the Bible. If this is something that you're thinking, you know what, I would love to have the support and community. I'd love to learn more about the Bible. I'd love to hear and get the support from a community and the support, like a coaching call with me every single month through live Q&A. What I want you to do is hop on over to footprintsofinspiration.com/grow-your-faith. That's footprintsofinspiration.com/grow-your-faith, and join the wait list for that now. The doors only open once a year for this program, and so I want to make sure that you get on the waiting list. So our third character who slept in the storm, Jesus. Jesus slept in the storm. In Matthew 8, verses 23 through 26, it says this: "Then he got into the boat and his disciples followed him. Suddenly a furious storm came up on the lake, so that the waves swept over the boat. But Jesus was sleeping. The disciples went and woke him, saying, 'Lord, save us. We're going to drown.' He replied, 'You of little faith, why are you so afraid?' Then he got up and rebuked the winds and the waves, and it was completely calm." How many times have you got up? Have you been fretting? Have you been calling out to Jesus, "Save me from this. This is so frightening. This trial is beating me down. I am weary, Lord." When what we really should be doing is just resting. When what we really should be doing is trusting God to take it for us. God's not up there wringing his hands, trying to figure out how you're going to get through the storm. He's already got it figured out. Sometimes, instead of fighting and clawing, you need to take a knee. Sometimes, in trying to control all the things and trying to do all the things to grasp that false sense of security, because if you have control over everything, right? We think that, everything's going to be great. We know better than that. But instead of doing that, what we need to be doing is resting. What we need to be doing is taking a knee. You too can rest, my friend. What you need to do is surrender to God. You need to surrender and let everything else go. That doesn't mean we sit on the couch and do absolutely nothing. Sometimes, sure, absolutely. But what I mean by that is stop striving and stop fighting and clawing your way through your trials and challenges, and instead surrender them to God. Instead, go to God when you are weary and let him give you rest. Take that rest. I think so often as women, we feel guilty when we take that time for rest. We feel guilty when we're pouring into ourselves. We feel guilty with that self-care. But within the priorities of God, what are the priorities of God? God, self-care, spouse, family, ministry, and work. In that order. We've got to be taking care of ourselves, my friend. We've got to go to God and rest. We have to stop clawing and fighting our way through our trials and challenges and trust God to take care of them, number one. And number two, go to him and get that rest that we need. We have to fill ourselves up before we can be good before we're ready and be filled enough to take care of our spouses, take care of our families, take care of our ministries, and to take care of work. We've got to be able to take care of ourselves. And sometimes shutting down and taking that rest, just like Daniel did, just like Peter did, just like Jesus did in the midst of the storm, is exactly what you need. So my friend, if you needed this today, here's what I want you to do. Be sure to subscribe to the show so you do not miss out on a single episode. Be sure to give me a big thumbs up. And also, I'm going to put a video at the very end here called, the 4-step battle plan. It's based on 2 Chronicles. I dig into 2 Chronicles chapter 20 and give you an actual 4-step battle plan on what to do when you're facing those trials and challenges. But remember, my friend, rest. Rest is so incredibly important. It's right under right under God and the priorities of God. We've got to take care of ourselves, and sometimes that requires taking a knee, and resting. So I'll put that video up for you, 4-step battle plan. Hop on over, listen to that episode, listen to that video. And I even put together a free 4-step worksheet for you. All right, my friend, I will meet you back here in the next video.